Hello. Just me and Zen. It's real life. Having a glass of wine. So, I think it is almost 8 o'clock. I'm going to get going here in just a second. Bear with me. I'm a little early, so I'm going to hang out for a second. And then we'll get going here in 1 minute. So, awesome. I think we're on. I think I'm live. I think we have someone on. Hey, Deb. Okay. Well, Zen and I are back. Well, I'm back in Nebraska. Zen's been here the whole time after our crazy trip last week. So, Deb, can you hear me okay? I'm going to get going here, but I want to make sure that everything's working, so hopefully it is. I hate the delay on this. Okay. So anyway, hi everyone, as you're joining in, excuse the cat walking in front of me. This is life for me in my office. I know your time's valuable, and I'm going to get going on this. Okay, awesome, good. I'm going to get going this right away so you guys can get back to your family and on with your evening. First, as I said, Deb says she can hear me. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Make sure that everything's working. So give me some hearts, likes, comment or thumbs up or whatever, and just let me know that you guys can hear this so I know that it's working okay. And I see a couple, so that is great. Okay, the other thing I wanted to share real quick before I get too into things is if you are watching and another coach other than myself invited you, thank you, Joanne. If another coach invited you to watch this, please follow up with them and let them know what you liked about it, or if there's anything, in particular that spoke to you. I'll be honest, I'm a nervous wreck. I haven't done this in a while. It's been way too long since I've gotten on and done this, and not to mention I've been kind of sucking at live videos on my page in general lately, so I'm a bit nervous. So bear with me. I will hopefully settle in as we get going here. The other thing is, I want you guys to please feel free to ask questions by posting them in the comments as we go along. I'm going to try and get to as many of them as I can towards the end, once we've gotten finished, and then anything I miss I will get to later, or perhaps some of the coaches that are on tonight can answer as well if we have questions. So I know sometimes Facebook delays when I see the comments. So if I don't see something right away or I don't get something answered, just know I will get to it as soon as I can. And also the last thing I have as a request is if you're going to ask questions in the comments, if you could just include a little note about what it's in reference to, that will help me out a lot when I go back at the end to answer questions so I know what it was that you were asking about. So before we get into the business end of coaching, I just need to share some of my story with you guys so you understand how it's all connected. Some of you may already know what some of the things that I'm going to share. Hang on. I keep pausing. I don't know what to do about that. I guess maybe I would say try closing it and starting it up again, or perhaps it's your Wi-Fi connection. Sometimes that can happen. If anybody else notices that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going here. So, I want to share some of my story with you guys. As I said, some of you may know some of the things I'm going to share already, but others may not, and there might be some new things as well that you haven't heard before. So bear with me as I go through some of this. It's very personal to me, and it really has a huge connection to what I do and my passion for coaching. So I want you to know, first of all, my story is different than yours, and it's different than everyone else's. We're all unique. We all have our own story to share. You don't need a physical transformation to have a story or be successful as a coach. Everything I'm about to share with you guys has in some way helped me develop as a coach and led me to my passion for helping others. First of all, I'm born and raised in Nebraska. Been here my whole life. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. Both of my parents were alcoholics, and my mother was diagnosed with bipolar when I was about 12 years old. I've always been extremely shy, so I was so shy when I was a kid that I didn't even get out of bed on my own in the morning. I would actually wait until one of my parents came up to get me because it was too much for me to walk out of the bedroom door and just face my parents. That's how shy I was. So I still struggle today with face-to-face communication. So the computer and social media has actually been a really great way for me to be able to get out of my shell and find a way to connect with people that I otherwise wouldn't do. I spent many years in my 20s going through therapy, helping me work through the verbal and emotional abuse that I suffered from my parents growing up in an alcoholic home. My dad was in and out of treatment centers 7 times before he ended up taking his own life via overdose in 2003. That same year, I went through a divorce. I also found myself faced with the decision to become my mother's legal guardian because she was unable to manage life on her own. And then over the past 15 years, I've been in and out of court with my mom. I've moved her in and out of a number of different assisted living facilities, and most recently into a long-term care facility where she will likely spend the rest of her life. By the end of 2003, I found myself on my own for the very first time in my life at 30 years old. I was broke, I was alone, I was depressed. I had also recently been diagnosed with Graves' disease, and my landscaping business was not bringing in enough money to pay my bills. I took on 2 extra part-time jobs. I found a roommate to help me with some of the housing costs, the bills and stuff. And I was also working to try and rebuild my credit rating because I had been through a bankruptcy with my ex-husband. So after my divorce, I decided to join a gym because when you're newly single, you want to look good, right? I started working out and lifting weights and found that I actually really enjoyed it. So at this time, I was struggling a lot with my landscaping business. I had some not so great employees. I was feeling really overwhelmed and just not being able to afford to live comfortably, much less earn enough money to have a savings account or ever to be able to consider retiring. So I remember working in the backyard of one of my clients' homes completely consumed with tears because I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I had to do something in order to improve my situation. You see, being a legal guardian for my mom and later for my aging grandmother really opened my eyes to the cost of what it is like to get older and have any sort of significant health problems that require extra care. I had nothing. I had very little retirement. I had no savings. I felt completely trapped. At one point, managing my mother's affairs and her finances, it was costing her over $90,000 a year just for the nursing facility that she was in. She was blowing through my dad's retirement savings and was headed very quickly to becoming dependent on state assistance, which is actually where she is now. I had to file to put her onto Medicaid about a year ago. So I knew because of all of that, because of watching these things, that I had to do something. I had to find another income source that was going to be able to carry me long term. But I didn't want to leave my landscaping business because I loved it. So I started searching for things that I could do on top of that to earn more. And thinking about how much I was enjoying fitness and working out at the gym, I decided to look into personal training and group fitness instruction. So I took some classes and I received my personal training certification at a local community college. I also got certified as a kickboxing instructor at the gym. And about this time, things started to look up with my landscaping business. So I never did follow through with doing anything more with the personal training. And I realized that I just felt way too shy and out of my element when it came to teaching group fitness. So that ended there. The gym did bring me one really great thing though. That is where I met my current husband, Pat. Current and last husband, Pat. Pat's the first person in my life who I have felt 100% comfortable with being myself. I don't feel like I have to live up to some standard with him. I don't have to look a certain way. I don't have to try and become something else or someone else in order to make him happy like I have in past relationships. He loves me simply for me, and I can't be more grateful for that. So, fast forward, in 2008, a friend of Pat's gave us an extra copy of the P90X DVDs that he bought, but he wasn't using them. It sat around our house for a few months, and on Christmas Day of 2008, I felt like working out, but our gym wasn't open, so I remembered we had those DVDs and popped one of them in, thinking, you know, I'll just do this for a couple days, and then I'll go back to the gym to my normal routine. But it kicked my ass. Pat thought that was funny. I was really sore, and I remember him and Josh watching me do the first workout, which is chest and back, and I could hardly do any of the moves, and it was extremely challenging. So I challenged him to start it with me, which he took me up on, and a few weeks later, we were both in so much pain that we realized this was the real deal, but no way could some workout on a DVD be anywhere near as good as those fancy machines and the group classes at the gym. But it was. It was actually better. And we were getting more results working out at home with a DVD than we had gotten in years at the gym. We decided to cancel our gym membership, save some money, and just commit to the 90-day program. During that time, I went to see my chiropractor, who asked me what the heck I was doing when I hobbled into his office in pain one day. When I told him I was doing P90X, he smiled and he's like, I know somebody in that business, and he gave me their contact information. So I really thought I was just going to be calling somebody that was a personal trainer or a P90X trainer, and they were just going to be able to let me know what we were doing wrong to continue to be in so much pain. But what we ended up finding out at that meeting has since changed our lives. I'm not going to cry through this. that's my thing. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to cry. A lot of this is really deep set from you guys and very emotional. And if I start breaking out in tears, I apologize. So anyway, we met this other coach who actually ended up encouraging us on our fitness journey and the workouts and said that we were doing really great with them. He also told us that they were actually really hard, so the soreness that we were experiencing was normal. Then he told us about coaching, and that's where I got skeptical, because you know what? It's network marketing. I need wine. I don't like network marketing, but he did assure us that Beachbody was a lot different from other companies, and being coaches was not about selling people things. It was about helping others, offering support, encouragement, sharing our journey as a way to motivate and help and inspire others. And for me, I could really connect with that in regards to how I ran my landscaping business. I've always been super big on providing excellent customer service, and this was just one more way that I saw that I could serve others and help improve their lives. So whether it was planting plants and making their outsides beautiful, I could help them work on their insides as well, and that was a really cool thing to me. So we jumped in, but when we became coaches, we really only wanted the product discount and just to be able to continue our workouts. We were not looking at it on a business end of things as well. So shortly after we became coaches, like literally a month after we became coaches, Beachbody released this new product called Shakeology. Now, I'm not going to get into what Shakeology is right now because that could literally take up the rest of our evening, but I do want to share with you guys how it made a difference in my own life. You see, back in 2005, I got really, really sick after I had been on repeated rounds of antibiotics. I had a bad sinus infection, and I also got strep throat. Now, if any of you guys know anything about antibiotics, you may have heard that they can be super hard on your digestive system. For me, they totally wiped it out. I got extremely sick. I had a C. difficile infection, which is a really nasty little bacteria that can take over your colon, and it can actually be fatal if it goes untreated. After 6 months, I was still sick, and I finally ended up taking myself into the ER one night because I couldn't stop shaking. I'm not going to get into the details of what was going on with my body. I don't want to gross you guys out, but let's just say my digestive system was destroyed. I was nauseated all the time. I was losing a lot of weight. I couldn't keep food in me, and I couldn't be away like more than a minute away from a bathroom at any time. Once I was in the hospital, they did some tests, did a colonoscopy, that fun stuff, and ended up diagnosing me with colitis. And I came out of the hospital with a handful of prescription medications that they told me I needed to take indefinitely. You see, my dad lived decades, as long as I can remember growing up. He was sick. He had severe ulcerative colitis, had numerous surgeries for it. He was miserable. And they were concerned that I was going to be going in the same direction as my dad. So it was, let's heal you now and let's prevent further problems in the future. So I took the pills. I had no choice. When Shakeology was released, however, again, we're back to 2009, I did some research on it, and a lot of the ingredients in it, I really looked that stuff up and figured out what it was. I learned a lot about the prebiotics and probiotics, all the digestive enzymes, on top of all the other nutrients that it contains, and it actually looked really good. I knew I didn't like being on the manufactured medications, and I wanted to try something on my own, so I gave it a try. After 2 months of drinking the Shakeology daily, I was able to wean myself off of all my colitis meds, and I haven't been back on them since. So the C. diff and the colitis definitely did permanent damage to my digestive system, and to this day, I still have random issues. I'm more sensitive to certain foods, but I have not had an official colitis flare, and I haven't needed any actual medication since. So I do need to say, though, guys, I do not recommend going off prescription medications without consulting your doctor. But I will say that aside from my own, I have seen countless other stories from people who have used Shakeology and have found significant health benefits, whether it be digestive, lowering cholesterol, blood sugar levels, and lots of other great stuff. So this is just my own personal experience with it, and it is the reason that I myself believe in it so much. So about 6 months after becoming coaches and having the chance to meet other coaches locally and other coaches in the company across the United States, we were able to meet the CEO of the company, Carl Deichler, and we were actually able to meet Tony Horton, the P90X trainer, where we started. Pat and I started to develop a new vision for what this was going to be in our lives. We had met so many coaches who had either supplemented or completely replaced their income from what they received as coaching or from coaching. Now, remember how a little bit ago I said I was feeling overwhelmed and stressed with the little income from my landscaping business, but I learned that I love health and fitness, but I couldn't find a way to work it in? I found my answer. So Pat and I jumped into the business side of coaching, and we haven't looked back on that since. This is where I have to give you a little disclosure. I need to tell you guys that my battery on my computer is about to die. Oh, I love it. And I'm going to pause for a second. Hey, Pat? Yeah? Can you grab my computer battery charger thing that's on the table down there really fast? Live video. I don't want to lose this. I guess I have it in paper. I have like bullet point notes in front of me, so if I keep looking up, that's why. So give me 1 second. I'm going to plug my computer in before I lose it. My computer's about to die. I don't know why it's dying so fast, but it's dying. Thank you. It's Pat. Hold on.
What?
No, go away. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
All right. I think I've got power, but hopefully before I lose my screen. I swear it was fully charged. Why is it not charging? Aha. I've got power. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I think we're good. I didn't want my screen to die in front of me here. So anyway, where was I? Okay. I'm a little distracted now. So, disclaimer. Right. Okay. I need to let you guys know that Beachbody does not guarantee any amount of income just by becoming a coach. So your income as a coach, if you choose to work this as a business, is going to be a direct result of the number of people that you serve. And it can be work. If you think you're going to become a coach and suddenly have all this extra money, that's just not the way it works. Just like any career, you've got to earn it, you've got to learn it, you've got to work it on a day-to-day basis if you want it to actually grow into something that's going to be substantial in your life. Clyde, you are on live. So the coaches in this business who are earning significant income, you guys, they put in a ton of hours. They put in a lot of hard work. They put in dedication, and they put in a lot of passion into what they do. It can be an extremely rewarding experience, though, not only on a financial end, but so many other levels personally. The nice thing is it can be as much or as little as what you want it to be. So if you just love the products and you want to get a discount, that's totally okay. Maybe you could benefit from some extra accountability to help you guys stay on track with your health and fitness goals. I have found that there is absolutely no better accountability system than being a coach. Or if you just want to earn a little extra income on the side, you can do that as well. For some of us, you might want to build a significant income that can replace your current job, perhaps pay off some debt, allow you to travel, or do other things that you would only otherwise dream of. You can do that too. What coaching looks like for your life is going to be completely different than what it looks like for me, and completely different for what it looks like for other coaches. Remember, this is about your story, it's about your journey, about your goals and dreams, not anybody else's. So what I want you guys to do is think a little bit about your life right now. Is it everything that you dreamed about as a kid? Is it fulfilling you? Are you as healthy as you want to be? Does your job provide for you and your family that you everything that you could ever want? Are you able to give back to the community or contribute to charities, or things like that as you would like to? What would your life look like if money and time or your health were not an issue? For me, coaching has provided more than I ever would have expected when I signed up 8 years ago. And I feel like I'm just getting started. This is a long-term thing for me. This is not something, I chose to get involved with and expected to be done with in a few years. This is lifelong for me. So there's so much more that I want to experience in the coming years, and I can't wait to see what that's going to be like. I have no idea right now. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that coaching has helped me with or provided in our life. First of all, and this is a big, big thing for me, it has just helped me improve my self-confidence and significantly reduce my shyness. I still struggle with the in-person stuff, as I said at the beginning, but I'm much better than I used to be. I've built some really incredible friendships with people who I otherwise never would have met. I've met people and I have customers from nearly every state in the U.S. I've got Canada, some in Italy and France, and Beachbody is actually going to be opening up to another country this year. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I'm not going to share that on here tonight, but it's definitely growing globally, which is exciting. You may have seen me posting some pictures over the last week, photos from our trip to Punta Cana that we just got home from. That's one of the many places that we've been able to visit as a direct result from coaching. Pat and I have been able to travel. We've been to, LA twice. We've been to Las Vegas 3 times, Nashville twice. We've been to Cancun. We've been to Cozumel, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and one other place I forget, on 2 completely Beachbody coached chartered cruises. And this summer we're heading to New Orleans for our annual Coach Summit, which is the biggest coach event of the year, and tons of fun and really motivating. And then, of course, we just got back from Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. We were there for 6 days. Now, all of these trips have been hosted by Beachbody for coaches. That makes them a tax-deductible business expense. So I don't have time to get into the tax benefits tonight in detail, but as a coach, let's just say you can deduct a ton of stuff from the income that you earn. Everything from your own purchases, the workout programs, BOD, Shakeology, other supplements, to your cell phone, computer, office supplies, travel expenses. You can even deduct a percentage of your home square footage and your utilities. And heck, because the internet is necessary to run your business, we're able to deduct 100% of our internet costs. In addition to that, the income that we've earned from coaching has been enough to add another full-time income to our household. All at the same time while Pat has been able to continue working his regular job and I continue to run my landscaping business. For me, coaching has substantially helped me develop my own leadership and business skills, which has actually made me a much more effective business owner for my landscaping company. I'm also able to better serve my clients and train and support my employees because of the confidence and skills that I have learned doing personal development as a coach. So the income that I've made has allowed Pat and I to take time off of work to travel. My stepson Josh is big into sports and he plays a lot of baseball. So, 6 months plus out of the year, we are traveling, we're on the road, we're chasing him to games and tournaments. And we've been able to do that while taking time off from our other jobs without having to be concerned about losing that income during that time that we're gone. And just in general, provide more for our family than we otherwise would have been able to. So now I want to just cover a couple of the hesitations that people have about coaching, because this is stuff that we hear somewhat regularly, and I think it's important to touch on. So the first hesitation is you have to be fit. Actually, I have found that people who really... You probably can't see that. Now my cats are fighting and growling and hissing at each other behind me. Gotta love live video. Zen, stop it. Sorry. So anyway, the first hesitation was that you have to be fit. And I've found that people who are super fit when they come in as coaches don't seem to have the success that people who just walk their journey in front of everybody do. We're looking for normal people who have goals. You don't have to be fit, but you do have to be open to sharing your journey. Another hesitation that I hear sometimes is, I don't have time. So listen, I run another business. I'm married. Got a teenager who's in sports. We're always on the go. You have time. You just have to learn to prioritize your time. You can find time for anything that you want bad enough if it fills a need in your life. So another hesitation is, I'm not a salesperson. Right, great. I hear that every now and then. I think it's awesome. Neither am I. I hate sales. Who wants to be a salesperson? I know I don't. When I have somebody come up to me like in person and ask me what I do, I honestly tend to shut down because I don't ever want them to feel sold or pitched. It feels awkward to me. If you look at my Facebook and my Instagram, you'll see that I just share my life. I share my struggles with my body. I share my struggles with my health issues. I share about my cats who are fighting over my shoulder right now. I share that I love wine. I'm not perfect with my health and fitness by any means. I share that I love my husband and my stepson. I share about plants and gardening. I share about my challenge groups and how well some of my customers are doing in them and some of the wins they've had. So have you guys ever had someone add you into a Facebook group and then you just got blasted with like all of their products or asking you to sign up or buy something? That's not what we do. Okay, so another hesitation, fear of failure. I get that. If you guys have heard the quote, I love this quote. What if I fall? But darling, what if you fly? I had no idea that 15 years ago when I was newly divorced and broke, or 9 years ago when Pat and I started doing the P90X workouts, how much this was going to end up impacting our lives. What if I would have let my fears and the crisis at that time in my life get in my way? I would be miserable today. So I have to share real quick about a couple of coaches on my team who have made incredible strides in their life since becoming coaches. One of these coaches, her name is Lynn, and Lynn started as a customer of mine in one of my monthly challenge groups a few years back, and she ended up finding a support system that has helped her work through a significant ongoing battle with severe anxiety and depression. She decided to become a coach because it felt good for her to be around people who lifted her up rather than tore her down. Today, she's improved her anxiety so much that she is blowing me away with doing live videos on Facebook every single day, and she's turning her journey around to encourage others who suffer from depression and anxiety by using health and fitness. Coaching in the community that we have to help her, has done that for her. And I can't wait to see how much further it's going to take her in the years to come. Another one of my coaches is Deb, who I think is on tonight. If any of you guys have been in any of my challenges, you've probably met Deb. Deb and I met completely by chance about 5 years ago when we were both traveling out of town and our lives happened to cross paths. We've since become very close friends and success partners. Her and her husband, Aaron, run a farm in Iowa, and she had been taking on extra jobs to help make ends meet until she had her third son. Once he was born, she was faced with the decision to go back to work in order to be able to continue to bring extra income into their growing family, but she wanted so badly to be able to stay home and just raise her boys. Hopefully he's on. Anyway, coaching came into Deb's life at the right time, and she was able to actually let go of the extra job and stay home and just work as a coach, help raise her boys, help her husband with the farm. Coaching has not only touched her life, but it has touched her entire family's life because she's able to be there for them round the clock, and she doesn't miss a minute of the kids growing up. And how incredible is that? I have lots of other stories from within my own coach team and countless others that I've met, over the years. So just think about what you need in your life that you're not getting right now. Maybe coaching could help you work towards that and fulfill some of your dreams. So before we go, we're going to wrap things up here shortly. But before we go, let's talk about the money. Now, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but it's got to come up. So let's just talk about it so you know how to earn as a coach. There are actually about 15 different ways to earn money as a coach, but for now we're just going to cover the three basics. The first way to earn earn money is by commissions, product commissions. So as a coach, you earn 25% commission off of anything that you sell through your website. The next way to earn is through something called a team cycle bonus. This one can be confusing at first, but it's actually the bread and butter of your long-term income. It's where the residual income kicks in from your weekly team cycle bonus. Basically, you earn money as you start to build your team and customer base. The more people you help, the higher your bonus will go. This is something that we will definitely get more into with training once you are a coach, so don't worry about figuring it out right now. Just know it's a really good thing. Another method of income is from the club membership. Now, most people now know this is BOD or BOD or Beachbody On Demand, but it actually is called the club membership. Customers who have club membership receive 10% discount off of all of the products they order, and you as a coach earn 15% commission off of any of those purchases. So plus, you earn an additional 40% of their membership fee every time it renews. We get paid weekly on Thursdays. We have training set up for you. So when you start and become a coach, you can have that ready to go for you. Don't have to figure anything out on your own. And it is completely go at your own pace. There's no quotas you have to meet. You don't need to store products and try and sell them out of your garage. And you don't have to buy anything more than what you're going to use yourself. If you have been, let's say, in one of my challenge groups or a challenge group led by another one of our team coaches, and in the past you have purchased a challenge pack, you actually can sign up as a coach and then have the coach sign up fee refunded just because you've bought a challenge pack in the past. So if you want to sign up to be a coach, the fee is $40. It's nothing. And then beginning the second month, you pay $15.95, excuse me, every month. That covers your Coach Online Office, your Coach websites, and that sort of stuff. And that's it. So most coaches start with a challenge pack. Like right now, the most popular thing is the All Access plus Shakeology pack. That gives you every single workout in the system and a month of Shakeology, and 12 months of BOD or club membership, whatever you want to call it. And when you do that, when you start with any challenge pack, you don't have to pay the $40 sign-up fee at all. It's waived right from the beginning. So that's about all I have to share with you guys tonight. If you have any questions, please type them in the comments. I know we'll have, people watching after I've finished going live. So, still ask questions and everything, and I will definitely get back to them. I'll check back in later tonight and tomorrow as well, and answer any of those questions. So there's often a delay on the live video comments, so if I don't see them, or if you ask something in the last couple of minutes here and I don't get to it, just know that it didn't populate for me right away, and I'll get back to you as well. So I'm going to save this recording and post it later, if you want a review, or for anybody who missed something at the beginning. And if there's anything that I've shared with you guys tonight that has you excited or interested in learning more about coaching, or if you're ready to jump in, then please be sure and contact the coach that invited you to watch tonight, and they will help you out with everything you need. If I'm your coach, or if you found this event through my Facebook page or an email that you received from me, just send me a message or shoot me an email and we can chat a little bit further. So that's all I have. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy schedule tonight to learn about coaching and to listen to me share a little bit about my story and my vulnerability. I'd love to chat with you further about it if it sounds like something that could be a good fit in your life. And otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go and get back to your evening. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great night, and I hope you have a great week ahead. So have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.